Welcome back, everyone, to episode 92 of Unravel. We are in the new studio, so the sound may be a little different. But
you can make it sound very different.
Don't do that. But today, everybody except for Sky's here. However, Sky did not tell us who's playing Novan, so that will be an issue to solve later. In the meantime, however, you all, a couple of sessions ago at this point, like 3 sessions ago I think, a battle began. As the large demonic and orcish army that has slowly been growing on the western side of Illinois in the Camp Pomoria in which this whole adventure started. They finally decided to move further inland and begin taking over Dorelia, the country of the elves, arriving at the gates of Illinois, where the party had just happened to teleport towards after finishing their journey towards Aurelia, way on the western coast of the continent. Having some stake in what's happening in Illinois and having encountered these orcs before, you were eventually, through your connections with Bran Stonebrand, the dwarven burgomaster of the small dwarven sub-city that's formed outside of Illinois' walls, you were involved in the battle against the orcs, where they largely began an assault on the walls of Illinois itself. After reinforcing the small town outside of the city, that's where you and the other dwarves had your last stand. The walls were attacked. Arcane protections that were set upon them were very quickly broken by magically enchanted trebuchet shots and catapult shots. However, while the elves focused on defending the walls, you focused on forcing all attacking orcs to funnel into the center road of the sub-city. And there, you, as the at least the face of the defense, took a stand against first a wave of shock troops of demons, followed by a wave of orcish soldiers, and eventually facing off against their last hurrah as a massive demon, multiple stories tall, approached the walls, intent on breaking them down. But your fellowship managed to stop it, kill it, and as it disintegrated after, I think, almost swallowing George, the area grows somewhat quiet for a moment. Elkian, or Nestrin, and Santhe, his apprentice, had arrived in the last moments of the battle to aid you. Your party, on whatever hit points and spell slots you currently reside, remain there, as the last healing spell is cast, I think, brings somebody back from being almost dead, because Novan and Chera were both at 0 hit points at the end of the battle, I remember.
I'm at 7, I saw.
And you've been healed since, luckily. As I said last time, after you strike down the Udak, there are war horns, the similar war horns to the ones you heard when the orcs first attacked, that sound again. And you begin to hear dwarven cries ring out throughout the dwarven district. A horn, distinctly dwarven in nature, is heard in the distance, and a familiar voice can be heard yelling out throughout the space. Here, Bran Stonebrand, yelling out, "Run them down! Don't let them forget this!" You see dwarves beginning to funnel over the barricades you had made and off of the palisades, beginning to give chase to this orcish army that is now retreating. The battle hadn't started. I think the combat was 16 rounds long, so only a minute or so, a little less than 2 minutes has passed since then.
Damn, we powerful.
Yeah, you guys are strong.
We almost died.
I mean, that's par for the course.
Many orcish dead bodies lie across the floor, and demonic ashes litter the street of the Tanaruk, the leader of the orcs that you had met first in Pomoria all those months ago at this point.
Did he die in that house?
He died outside of it. But only...
My breaching maneuver didn't work.
From him, only his... George would recognize Jethuan axe remains on the ground. The dwarves begin to funnel out. The gate
Accident.
of the elves begins to slowly open up. It will take a couple of minutes before any meaningful amount of people can move through that.
I mean, is there still a point within 150 feet I can see where there are orcs?
No. This, like, the battle map was 240 feet. You guys were about halfway, and they've already started retreating.
What if I double it?
Then you can probably hit some, but you could also possibly hit some of the dwarves that are now jumping over and running after them.
No, never mind.
Hit him. Do it.
So that would be 300 feet, and that's still.
It will be a while until we get there.
I mean, there's like a slim chance of you would
Probably
immediately
won't
do it afterwards.
Go
but-
there, right?
Yeah, no, not worth
Do
it.
that need again.
Elkian there checks on Xanthe before then turning towards you. Some of you that are down, helping Novan back up as well.
Elkian or Nestrin?
Nestrin, sorry, my bad. Elkian is not here.
Is there some steel on the ground that I could find?
There's a lot of dead orcs. There's a lot of dead orcs.
I'll grab some steel from them.
Sure. They carry mainly great axes, some short swords, arrows. They don't necessarily have that much steel in them.
Yeah, no, for the safeguard.
Sure. What do you guys do in that instance? As you guys recover, you see these other dwarves begin to charge after them. You're left there for a second.
I suppose.
You recognize all of you are alive still, at least.
That's the case.
I'm gonna lose some bodies.
Yeah, after I grab some like steel, I'll just sit down on the ground.
Sure.
I'll just grab the axe and then sit with.
Sure. You
Kira.
pick up the axe. It has this like distinct design to it that is formed when the metal is cured, which
Like
gives us the similar to that. In a similar way, recognizable, but it doesn't look like Damascus. But in that way, you recognize it to be a Jethun axe. It has a small inscription in it, in a language you can't read, I think. Which languages can you read? I don't have my card here anymore.
I believe I can just read. Working con.
Then you do not recognize the language,
I
but
can
there is a
read it.
small inscription.
Would I recognize the language?
Which languages do you speak? Because again, I don't have.
Orcish, Elvish. Oh no. Orcish, Draconic, Dwarfish, and Common.
Nope, you don't recognize it either.
I can read it.
You maybe can, depending on what language
I
you know.
definitely
have the
can
helmet.
because I had comprehending languages cast before the battle.
Then you definitely can.
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
pretty sure you can. What language do you know? Because I'm pretty sure you can read it without.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, Sylvan, Gnomish, Abyssal, Goblin, Giant, and Marcelian.
Then you could read it without
Nice.
the spell. But that's up to you whether or not you show it. But you have the axe at least. Elki and Xanthe at this point, you all sit down and basically chill, right? You begin.
Don't catch your breath.
Yeah. In that case, Nestrin and Xanthe checking on you being fine. Nestrin goes, I will inform everyone what's happened here, and then we're going to have to see what those dwarves are going to be doing. Because at this point, you see the last ones beginning to like kind of crescent the hill in the distance. Somebody's going to need to keep an eye on that.
I'm not gonna stop. I
Shouldn't
think.
do that too far though. That's like not. It's risky.
Is Brown still here?
I get it, I guess.
At this point, you begin to see like elvish troops also beginning to move past. The first like mounted on horses and such, beginning to make their way through the street as the gate's opening far enough. Nestrin goes, "You did good work here. Take a rest."
Nestrin, will you let everyone know how awesome I was?
I'll try to do my best.
Thank you.
Nestrin and Xanthe take their leave for now. Your dragon comes back a few moments later. It can communicate with you. How exactly?
Let me look it up again.
Can it talk to you telepathically? Do you just know things?
No, last time we had it talk to me because I was being a little child and it was being a child back with me.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. It's like a text box that pops
Well,
up.
it will definitely be telepathic, because I can also do it telepathically with my blue dragon. Because I am a telepath now.
Mm. It's simple.
Squeeby!
Squeeby.
Squevar bark.
That's Flintstones.
Kubiliga, kabadabado. Stigay!
Where did the stairs to the outside of the pool go?
I mean, it is a real language.
It says
you
that
can translate it.
It says that it understands languages you know, but it
Except
doesn't
for the
speak
songs.
anything.
Those are just like,
No, the Katy Perry song.
yeah, but not all the songs. Some songs are just random garble speech.
I don't know how the homunculus. I don't know if it can. I don't think it can tell you anything.
Well, it can now, because we share one mind now, because I'm telepathic.
Yes. They need to. Do we need to know a language for that or anything like that?
Well, they know every language I know. That's the whole thing.
Alright. In that case,
Then,
I mean,
yeah.
but for telepathic, do they need to
I don't think they do.
I think you can just
like a certain intelligence or something?
maybe.
We go.
Can't you just go into people's minds without consent? Just
I basically can, but if I
Yeah.
want to know more than their surface stats, I need to invade it, and then they get to make a saving throw.
yeah, okay.
I can read all the surface stats without consent, because I'm a little goblin. Okay, let me see. Where's the one I have?
You're a goblin killer.
Telepathic.
So
Just
I think it can.
For the sake of brevity.
yeah.
However, it will communicate to you, saying that we'll give you to speak to it telepathy. It can speak back to you. We'll give it a voice, sure. Simply comes back to you, going, "So you asked me to go look at the leaders where they were. I saw them. They're running back now. They're going the other way. They're they had carts and boars. I found them.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
They're running away. It's the little bitches.
I should say that.
They are okay.
Well, they weren't little. Did you see how I got almost eaten? That's your job.
Yeah, I know.
Not mine.
How was it?
No. There's a reason when I see something big, I want to get out.
But you didn't.
But the
And
finish
that
of
takes heart
everything
and
big
courage.
is.
Good job, George.
I do it for my people.
Your people would be.
Otherwise, I wouldn't do that shit. I don't know why you do it.
I mean, sometimes it's fun.
You did lose an arm because of it.
No, I wasn't eaten then.
Your arm was eaten
No, it was pulled off.
and eaten.
I don't remember that. I was screaming too much.
I don't expect you to. The
It's-
trauma probably.
Also, it very much wasn't eaten because I got the arm because I used the arm to make the new arm with, and then I was allowed to eat it, but you said no, and then I didn't. But I
Right.
secretly did.
That's why I thought it was eaten. Because you were weird.
Yeah, no, the thing, it just ripped my arm off.
Yeah, and then I made that new arm using the old arm to, measure it to make it fit perfectly.
It's weird how.
Does it still fit perfectly? Did you grow since
yet.
then? Okay.
Zera. I'm like 150 years old. I don't grow anymore except in weight.
For the dwarves, we stopped growing oil pretty quick. We're big babies, but we never get big.
And Georgia stopped growing.
Yeah.
Now you say you do kind of look like a giant baby. Only with a beard.
No. No, that's just nonsense.
Maybe if you would shake the beard, then it would like.
I don't.
If you would, then maybe you would.
Would you not?
Like true.
That would be fun. I am young. And I'm sure there's a very handsome face under this beard. But
So
the
you
beard
just
stays on.
Why
You
would you
just
shave
told
it? Your
yourself-
beard is amazing.
I would never.
Can I braid it again?
George.
Also, if you do that now, having been in the desert for so long, he's like kind of tanned up there, but it wouldn't be nothing here.
Pretty much.
It's like the opposite of wearing goggles.
Yeah.
George,
I don't get 10, I'm skilled.
do you get less or more green?
I'm just very, very
Sun.
red. My head is red.
You're
My skin
you're a
is red
lobster.
now. Yeah. I'm very burnt.
Why didn't you use sunscreen?
That
What's
doesn't make
that?
sense.
Sunscreen.
Is that a spell?
It should be.
White.
I mean, it would
It's
be.
9th level.
That's not good.
Here, next time you're in the blistering sun, use this.
I don't burn very quickly. Matter of fact, I burn less quickly than most of you.
Yeah. I wish I had the
Here.
trait.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think I burn in her way less quickly than all of you.
For you also one as well.
I can stand in the fire.
Well, I'm not talking
Sort
about
of.
fire. I'm talking about sun.
You burn
Yes.
it.
Anyways,
My
now
beard
you
the
all
mix.
have this new...
Is your beard
Yeah, what
also
did you
fireproof?
What did you give us?
Yes, that's very
A bottle
important.
of something.
If our beards aren't fireproof, you would constantly burn it in a
This is
hole.
white liquid. Can I drink it?
No.
Is the rest of your
Also,
also
it's not liquid.
fireproof?
Or only
It's
beer.
liquid.
It's kind of a lotion.
beard is
kind of
fireproof.
sunscreen.
Yeah, you can drink it. It's slow.
As you,
Don't drink
the
it.
5 of you, sit here, you're kind of like still on the main street.
I
now,
gave
so-
everyone sunscreen.
I'm pretty sure there's a house that's on, at least one house that's on fire.
I can't.
I'm not a firefighter.
So one of them is like burning down.
I can
I
turn
would throw
off fire.
fire on it. Water on
Yeah?
it.
Do you have water?
No.
Then one of the houses
Is
is
the water
mainly.
nearby?
I don't think so.
Can't you create water?
I could.
I
have water.
Wait! In an hour, I also could make.
In
I
an hour,
can't.
that house is burned down.
Yeah, an hour is not. Yeah.
It's already mainly because I'm pretty sure it's the house that that you got attacked in that was on fire.
Yeah.
Small house.
Mhm.
It's mostly on fire at this point.
I can't.
Look,
It's
At this
not
point,
about
by the
that.
way, the gate has opened up large enough that there is a steady stream of elven soldiers that are both mounted and unmounted, making their way westward.
look at
Do
the
they look
arrows.
damaged?
Yeah,
Oh.
many. The ones that came through soonest, not as much, considering those are the ones closest to the gate that was opening, which was your guys' side. The ones that were on the wall where you guys were fighting didn't really have to fight that much. So the first few that came through were pretty much okay. Everyone after that fought on other areas of the walls do look. They look harmed. Their armor's like dented. They're covered in blood.
See, we
Tired.
protected this side of the wall the best.
You need doors in front of all of your gates, if you ask me.
Those elves basically look like how you guys look, kind of.
George, can I see that X?
This is a Jetchuan axe. Of course, you can see it.
Yes.
Don't touch it.
No, you can
Is it sharp?
You can touch it. That's fine.
You touch
So,
it?
It's a pretty
I
big
touch
axe when
it.
you die.
You have gloves on, right? You touch it?
Yes.
Barehanded? Alright, it's a little cold, but it's not like it looks nice. It looks of particularly nice design compared to all the other. Most orcs were wielding great axes here. They all look kind of like crude and like just like not taken care of that well. This one, on the other hand, has vastly different design. Doesn't fit in with an orcish armory at all. The steel looks of a higher quality, better kept. And in Goblin, there is a name written on it.
Ah.
Golvao, and then a dash, and then Iwazaki.
Ah.
Golvao. I'll repeat it when you have a page to write on.
Cool.
Gul'dan.
Nope.
The warlock.
Golvao. Then a dash, and
A of like
VA?
A or a, oh yes.
Golvao. Golvao.
Dash.
IWAZAKI. Iwazaki. The dash signifies the idea that it's not the same name.
K.
Yes. Iwazaki.
Iwazaki.
Ew, Azaki.
Iwazaki.
That's written on the axe on one
What
side.
did Mizaki?
Cool.
It is. You would probably recognize it relatively instantaneously as a smith's signature. Pretty big. It's more like,
Does it seem magical in nature, or is it just a really impressive?
no, Jethwin axes. It's a way of smithing. They aren't necessarily magical in nature. Basically, what it does, it gives a flat +2 to damage, but not attack rolls. It's a 1d12 +2 damage plus whatever your modifiers are.
Cool. How is the feel of it?
Like what you
I'm
can.
not gonna use this.
How the axes
Screw
work
this.
is basically you can. That's a way of smithing that you could eventually learn if you want to. If you could then enchant them, whatever bonus you put on them, they keep the bonus. But for example, if you would make it a +1 axe, it would get +1 to attack and damage, and it wouldn't be influenced on like being harder to make or anything like that. If you know the way of smithing these axes or any type of weaponry.
So you can make a +5 damage egg.
Yes, but only +3 to hit max. If you know the way of smithing. It could be an axe, could be a sword, could also be blunt weapons, mauls, morning stars, arrows, whatever you want to do.
I think it's got a dent.
Does not.
Bit, do you want to sell it?
I want to study it.
That's also a
He's gonna look at it for
That's
a while.
cool. So you're gonna study it?
Yes. What is it like? Well, is it not appropriate?
I will not. I will stop distracting you then. That's full.
I mean, if we're not doing anything, I wanted to ask you a question.
Ask away.
Well, for an item I want to make, I have to craft something in Starlight or whatever. I was wondering if you could help me with that. Or smith something in Starlight. Or, well...
How am I, like, is that like literal, or is that like a very...
I think it's just at night.
Oh, under like a... Can be cloudy, like does it need to be like very... a starry night? That's a thing. Look, I don't know the logistics of what you're asking me. It's
It should just shouldn't happen on a night where all the stars disappear like that one time.
Yeah.
It's not that.
I mean, it
well,
just...
more often than
I
not, there are
think-
stars.
I think it's just in, like, at night when there's starlight.
Does it have to be clear?
Hmm.
Oh, I guess.
I could do it in the open.
What does it say? 'Cause I made it a long time ago.
Yeah, what I wrote down,
Yeah.
which might not be the exact quote, but it piece of steel from a weapon of a defeated enemy reforged in starlight into the nape of a small shield.
The retraction shield hand? Reaction shield hand thing?
Yeah, safeguard schematic.
Safeguards.
I mean,
Piece
like,
of
what would be
steel.
the worth of this?
1,000 gold.
Under starlight. So just
Under starlight.
at night above open sky.
So you need material worth 1,000.
From an enemy, right?
No. Crafting costs generally for the magic item
That's
is
just the
1,000 gold.
crafting cost.
The special item is a piece of steel,
Yeah.
a piece of steel of a weapon wielded by a defeated enemy that has been reforged under starlight into the shape of a small shield.
But the total costs will be about 1,000 gold.
Yeah, well, I wasn't asking what the. So you're gonna. Well, you want me to make something that you need for that?
Yeah.
But what I'm making is just a piece of steel.
Yeah.
No, you need
It's-
to reforge the piece of steel that you have now from the weapon.
Yeah,
into a
so
shield.
like if you could make that big ass axe into like a nape of a shield, that would be great. Yeah, under Starlight. I can pay you for it.
I mean, I can do that.
I can help. I know how to smith a little bit.
No, give me an hour in the night, and I'll do it. I usually am smithing.
Yeah, I know.
We
I can
know.
hear you.
We all know.
Yeah, what?
Well, if you don't keep your armor clean, then what's the
I'm a
point of
very
the
heavy
armor?
sleeper.
But does it have to be at night?
Apparently. Don't you hear the ping
They were
pings of
traveling.
Yes, but like
Those are
it can also
in real
you
life?
can also do it
Yeah.
like the moment that
That's
we
George.
set up camp.
I
like,
just thought
when
that was
that's
music I
done,
was dreaming.
when we're just
Yeah,
everything
that's,
happened.
that's relaxing after a
Well,
while.
that's like time I
Yeah.
spent with you guys.
At one
Do you?
point, at near when the amount of elves that walk the central street moving west begins to dwindle, eventually you see a small group of mounted elves on armored mounts. Many of these individuals you recognize. Many of them were present at the war council of the High King. They begin to move past. They're worn. They're not. All of them seem to have seen combat.
Also the king.
Yeah, eventually you see him stopping at the sight of the five of you sitting at the side of the road. Garrick, the general, as well as Amorith, the High King, both stop their procession of guards, turn towards you and go, "Good morning. I heard you did good work here today." This is the king. Going, "Something large was defeated here that otherwise would have been broken through the gate."
Well, we're not politicians or spokesmen, but we are warriors.
That is clear. And I heard you had inspired the dwarves to the point that none of them seem to be around here anymore. And he kind of like looks around to see if he can see any.
Yeah, no, they all
Yeah.
crested that hill like 15 minutes ago.
You sent the orcs running back. On the way back, we managed to shoot quite a few while they were retreating past the walls. We managed to push off some of their watchtowers, and they didn't penetrate far into the city, but we had not anticipated them being able to completely destroy our arcane defenses, and how they did that is quite remarkable. Whoever is leading this group is formidable and unknown to us.
Well, they kind of have to if they send a demon this way.
Those defenses were set up before I was even born. Those are ancient. Anybody who knew about them.
What are you?
I'm approaching my 7th century.
Jesus.
He's pretty old.
You all look tired and quite haggard. I do not know what your plan is. I don't want to ask much more of you, because I know that joining in this fight is not necessarily your responsibility. But those dwarves have stood here and been victorious because of you. And they were very eager to continue. Whether or not you wish to continue to fight with us, I ask you ride with us to at least be present. Inspire them with your presence, if nothing else.
We are very inspiring, that's true.
But if you wish to remain here, that is more than allowed.
I mean, I was just scratching my breath. I can fight one of those demons any other day. Any other time.
I would need to eat a large fish beforehand, before I'm ready to do that again.
Oh, my back hurts.
Do you have a large fish for me?
At the moment, we simply wish to engage with them again before they manage to retreat completely and we lose them outside once again. So no, I do not have that kind of stuff at my availability. But if they're set up a camp, you will have some time to rest if we can catch them before they leave. Do you ride with us?
Well, of course.
I mean, we have to walk.
Oh, I think
You wouldn't have to.
we get offered a ride.
Oh, nice.
Well, as nice as that would be, we would certainly want to help where we can help. I think I speak for all of us that we do this if the dwarves get fair compensation and recognition.
Their status within the city and this country will be revised again after this instance, but there is less time to talk about politics at the moment. However, I recognize their bravery and their efforts, and Of that will be spoken after this day, but the day is not yet over.
Yes, suffices.
Oh, I
He
do a
turns
big
around on his horse,
Let's do
whistles,
this.
and a couple of squires come running over, dismount their horses, give them off to you, while they mount with some of the other lieutenants and officers.
How long does it take to attune to something?
An hour.
Hour.
You do have to
Goddamn.
buddy up with somebody, by the way.
I'll be.
Nice.
How long will we ride?
That's unknown.
No, you know, because their camp was a couple of kilometers away.
All right.
So not like no way, because this came up during the negotiations. I think probably a couple minutes, maybe like 10, 20
I'll
minutes.
stay on my carpet.
Okay.
I've been chilling on my carpet, flying a few feet above.
I'll buddy up for someone.
Can't say I'm fully like capable of fighting. Like, oh, really?
You all hop on the mount, begin to follow the elven procession at the back, making their way westward. On mounted, it's relatively easy considering a lot of them are foot soldiers at the moment. You guys begin to crescent the hill, and when you go over the hill, you begin to see the larger area west of Illinois. And in the distance, you do see what is approximately kind of war camp. That is a pretty fucking large camp, considering the army that was approaching Illinois was large. But it's ways in the distance, and the army begins to make their way. Far off in the distance, those with higher passive perceptions can still hear dwarven war cries and rallies as they seem to still advance, and there's like dust clouds being kicked up by them. You also see in the distance flying creatures, the vrogs and whatnot that the orcs had that are still retreating westward.
It's amazing to see how fast those dwarves can run if they want to fight something.
They're very eager.
Yeah.
I thought they were maybe a little less.
I didn't think we inspired them this much.
That was certainly not what I think said in the speech, and I didn't say like when we win we will decimate their retreat.
No, we should kick them in the balls.
We actually, maybe we did actually kind of like.
So I guess they're trying.
Yeah, they're insisting on something. Yeah.
I mean, Bran did rally them to run them down, to be fair, so he took some initiative there himself.
That's true.
I hope he doesn't kill all of them with that.
You guys travel westward with them.
Yeah.
You guys can basically take a short rest if you want to, whilst mounted on the horses. You're moving at a relatively slow pace.
Sure.
Let's roll all my hit dice.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, everybody roll a d20. Somebody's gonna have to do it for Novan. So what'd you get?
15.
Sure, what'd you get?
12.
George, what'd you get?
15.
13.
Your go
Wow,
get our
with-
character sheet. He
With
gets to do a short rest.
with a 12, damn.
12 is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You guys all rolled really well.
Damn, I rolled.
Oh, I rolled shitty.
5, 10, 20.
20. Just only 20.
27.
29. You don't have to roll all your hit die, but if you want to, you can.
I mean, I was on 7 hit points, so I think I should.
Don't forget, every die you roll, you add your constitution bonus as well.
Yeah, the 20 was my constitution
Oh,
bonus
fuck.
of 4 die.
I need to believe what it says on here. What it says on here.
Probably what it says on there.
Oh, which one?
The character sheet or the end of session sheet.
The end of session sheet should be her most recent one.
I don't know. The just
How many hit points does she have on either?
well on the character sheet she has 9,
Yeah.
and on the end of session sheet she has 100 and.
Then assume the character sheet, because she was literally at 0 hit points at the end of the last session. So, I don't think anybody managed to heal her up to 128 hit points.
Nope.
That would be impressive.
Well, it's always possible.
16.
I don't think you have the spell
Where
slots
did
for
my
that.
laser go?
Well, I can cast it
On
here.
top of the heal potion.
There.
It's 70. You did that on Angie, actually.
Yeah, I did. Just shoot down.
Just like a little bit.
Imagine that.
Just a small bit. Imagine dying cool.
Like a whip.
Whilst I was tanking big gorilla man.
You were in its mouth, about to be swallowed before.
I was
I'm
tanking.
so
think-
proud.
I don't remember who killed it. I think Angie?
That's what I refer to as tanking.
Sorry?
You killed the Dak, right? The
Tanking.
The big
Being
demon
image
ape
master.
at
I
the
mean,
end.
that's what I consider tanking.
That's tanking.
I
think you killed
don't
it-
think so.
Didn't you kill it with a magic missile?
You did?
No.
That would be hilarious.
I don't think I
You
did.
did a lot of damage with it.
I'm pretty sure you killed it because you sent like 2 arrows in its eyes and had it like rear back up.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
did.
sure that was you.
Magic missile killed it, yeah.
That's
Like a
funny,
okay, to be
yeah.
fair, like a 4th level magic missile,
Wow.
Yeah.
not just some
Wasn't
first
it a
level.
5th level?
It could be. I don't know if you did that.
Because
It could have been a 5th level.
We could have also boosted it with your sorcerer points.
We established it was
Pretty sure.
better than any other thing you could
Yeah,
do.
Cone of Cold was very disappointing. Fireball's also really disappointing.
Yeah,
It was just a fact that it was disappointing.
disappointment.
Missiles.
At least always hits.
Yeah, I guess
Angie, you finish your short
tanked
rest?
a lot of things,
Yeah.
technically.
I'm back at full health.
George, you finish your short rest?
Yes.
And I still have 2 hit die. Oh,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I still have 2 hit points over.
hit die. Jesus.
So, by the way, for the Jethwin axe, just make sure to mark it down as a +2 Jethwin axe.
How do I write Jetwin? Exactly.
J-E-T-H
Or hit die.
I am using all my hit die.
U-E-N?
Jethwin.
I'm just gonna do that.
U-E-N?
U-E-N. J-E-T-H-U-E-N. Jethwin.
Oh shit. Well, just a little bit above my max health.
Oh no.
But I'm
Do you not have aid on right now? Didn't you guys cast aid?
Yeah? A max health plus extra.
Okay.
I did.
But it was all my hit die.
2 8s on ours.
Did you finish for both yourself and Note?
No.
Okay.
I
Finished for one.
Alright, good.
You have 2 aids.
I 2 8s.
Double aids.
Who is 8?
Everyone is 8
George.
except me.
8, not 8.
I've casted the 8 spell.
I love to cast 8.
That would be a terrible spell.
It already exists as Bestow Curse.
If you do it fast enough, you get some air.
But it stops itself.
Yeah, you can also do this.
That stinks.
Oh. As you guys follow with the elven forces at the back at your leisure pace, eventually what you come to is a somewhat fortified orcish camp that is surrounded by dwarves. Like, there are only like one and in some places 2 men deep in the circle that they surround them in, but they're almost shoulder to shoulder. You see the elves as you arriving. The elves are still like surrounding. What you have to think of is like you're not coming to just like a small camp. You're coming to like essentially a small town of
Clash of
tents
Clans.
and whatnot. No, but it's like you have to think the army of the orcs that approached the I think it was numbering like the 10,000 ish. It's pretty big.
There we go.
Are the tents close together? So if one tent
They
would
seem
catch
to be
fire,
they seem to be somewhat organized in like the idea that there's like groups of 5, and then in between there's like paths
okay, so
to keep some kind of structure to it. And
if one tent would catch fire,
then like
would it
4 other
spread?
ones may catch fire because they're not next to each other. There also seems to be like animal pens where there still are like these demonic-ish boars and regular boars kind of intermingled in that. You also see that there are orcs still within the camp. There's a palisade, a little less strong than you guys had set down, is set up around this camp. There's activity in it. You see with those rocks flying overhead, the demons. The dwarves are generally keeping about and elves now, generally keeping about a 200-300 foot distance from the walls, as to not be able to be shot with arrow fire.
Person walks a bit too close. 20 arrows. Yeah.
I mean, the whole way there, by the way, has been littered with every now and again just like a spread of ashes of a demon and whatnot, and then like a dead orc, another dead orc, just that have been caught slacking, basically.
A dwarf that's still limping towards the...
There are some arrows in the ground around the camp. As I said, the elves are kind of like following the dwarves' lead and taking a step behind them, making their own perimeter. And at the eastern side, which you said you guys are approaching from, you see people begin to dismount and not necessarily set up camp per se, but there's like small chairs and tables and such that have been brought along for people to sit. And the procession that you are with do make their way to an area of like a larger table where some people are already sitting. One of which you recognize being Nestrin, who has been here for a little bit.
Is he hyping us up?
Nestrin? Yeah. No, he's sitting there as the other lieutenants and whatnot that you rode with are arriving. Xanthe's standing behind him. Strangely enough, you haven't seen Elkian anywhere. Neither coming out nor approach you. You're not sure if he stayed behind or whatnot, but he's not here.
Probably.
He's in his house somewhere.
Maybe.
He's not caring about what's happening at us right now.
It's
fine.
You have to talk more.
Aemrid, the High King, begins to sit down, and as they all kind of move that direction, Garrick, the general, does not necessarily say anything, but he invites you over to the table, pointing at a few chairs that are still available.
There's chairs.
On a chair, like... Your problem.
As Aemrid sits down, he looks towards Nestor in an empty chair next to him and goes, "So, what is the current status of things?" And at this point, you hear like the heavy clinking of armor as an armored Bran begins to kind of hobble from the front lines, running back towards his place, and takes his place at the table as well. And he goes, "We've set up
take a breath.
Perimeter around the camp, and we're preventing any of them from retreating. They ran within their walls, and any that have tried to leave..."
Okay, wait. Breathe with me.
I'm fine. Any that have tried to leave, we've managed to keep them in. We're not sure if they have any teleportation magic that could take them away from here.
Probably.
Some of those bird fuckers have tried to lift orcs and other demons and whatnot out of there, but luckily we've been able to shoot them down so far. They've been kept contained relatively well. They are probably getting their own bearings, and we are not sure what their plan is next. And until we set up some kind of barricade ourselves, there's a possibility that they'll try to leave the camp and break through, most likely in the western direction. He kind of like plops his head down with a heavy metal thunk on the table.
You should make trebuchets.
That seems like a lot of work.
For dwarves.
I mean, fair, but still. Isn't it better to just attack them straight up?
Garrick speaks up going, "Most of those orcs did not take their trebuchets and catapults with them. You could send some people back to get some more."
Sounds like
I think the trebuchets would be difficult, but catapults we can do immediately.
True. The dwarves that carried the carts that pulled the trebuchets and set them up are dead. Catapults luckily are on wheels. He kind of looks at the king and goes, "Make haste with it then. Until then, you have all," turning towards your group, "encountered these orcs before. You've spoken with them, had dealings with them in Pomoria. Did you recognize any of those during the fighting? Are those part of the command structure that you know of?"
Two of them for sure.
We saw two recognizable faces, one of which we taken out, but probably returned to its original whereabouts.
Demonic in nature, then.
Yes, I imagine.
Why just ran away like a coward?
retreated, yes.
And they are leaders, or
One is very magical.
Well, they spoke of a leader. I think they're generals. Or like high up,
but not
like
the command.
leader.
I mean, back then when we had the priestess captured, we should just have murdered her.
Probably, but
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, you were
They're
very
really-
into her, that's true.
No, but they were hyping up this big gorilla thing with this multiple arms, like a gorilla. Really
Right.
big.
Have you encountered that in the fighting? I do not. What's that? Or is that the thing you fought?
Yeah,
We fought a very large demonic creature that looked somewhat like a gorilla.
with multiple arms.
Right.
You know what a gorilla is, right?
I am aware.
It's like that, but
Bigger.
or triple the size even.
Do you have any idea what kind of numbers they have left?
The king looks towards Garrick. Garrick going, well, the divisions that attacked the other gate, the one that you were not defending, the heaviest losses as their way back around the city was significant. We haven't had a tally, although from quick counts and estimations, they lost a little over 3/4 of their original force, leaving them at 2,000 to 3,000 men. And demons and whatever they have. The real question is, are we attacking today or giving ourselves time to rest and them time to rest? But they can summon things. He looks back towards the king going, that's problematic. But many of the men fighting on the walls had not expected such heavy assaults upon them. And if you look at our own allies pointing towards your group, we are not sure if we should push everyone like that.
They
Towards you
themselves
being
are-
the most haggard ones of the group.
They themselves, however, probably look bad as well. I'd say set up a perimeter, get those weapons here, and start assaulting. It should certainly
just-
keep them.
If you just
Alert.
keep them busy,
Yes.
Keep them. Yeah.
it's like keep them running around, keep shooting.
Make it unsure and unsafe in there. Sure, we can do that now.
We should set up our own barricades, no walls, but palisades, trenches, something simple to keep them from bursting through our perimeter.
They might try to make a run for it.
The danger of them being able to regroup and reorganize. And
If they can form a spearhead, then they can probably break through quite easily. Since we're not that many men deep.
that is what we're waiting. Kind of turns towards Bran. Your men were eager to fight. How are they? Bran goes, most of us were on the walls. We had some help and our defenses were strong, and we managed to funnel most heavy attacks towards the Big Five, luckily. The men are eager and pumped up, but we have defended our home, and there's not any need for needless bloodshed, but they follow not only my lead, but also the lead of the Big Five.
How many do we have? Men.
We numbered in the 1500. We have suffered casualties, some have stayed behind, some to take care of the wounded, some reinforcing the pieces of the walls that have stayed behind. We have a little over 1,000.
An elf.
In returns for Garrick. Garrick going, was not taking care of the wounded or reinforcing our walls and gates. We number in the 6,000-7,000.
What is the cavalry of that?
Could be more. We have only those who had their own mounts have brought them. Some 5,000, 500.
I say we make 2 strong bolstering forces and we start pushing in tomorrow maybe. And then use the cavalry to pick off. They could stay at distance and
We should probably
probably
keep.
have a safer attempt at picking off whoever tries to run away or whatever army tries to go.
We should probably keep the flanks secure, because they might.
That's what the cavalry should do.
Yeah, fair.
We should station our cavalry both on the western and eastern gate, whichever gate they decide to make a run for. If they do manage to penetrate through the lines, the cavalry will pick up any stragglers. We will send men to pick up the catapults and eventually bring trebuchets. If we are going to be waiting till tomorrow, better not give them any chance of rebuilding, especially no place to concentrate on summoning any more of those demons. However, we will not approach the walls in case they start firing back at us. No reason to... They'll be ready for a full frontal assault. Tomorrow, our forces should be regrouped from both Illinois and here, well rested, hopefully. Possibly, perhaps they are willing to renegotiate these terms of theirs. But I doubt it, and I don't think that we would give them any other terms than they gave us the other day. Yourselves should shut up camp and take a rest. Your presence does more than you might imagine. I'd rather have you here. Garrick at this point gets up, kind of turns towards Brandon and goes, I think some of your dwarves are eager to take some of those goats you have to pull these carriages and help push the catapults. You'll help pull some of guard duty, but sure. They begin to make their way off. Nestrin kind of like sits there thinking to himself. If we are waiting a day to attack them, might be able to do something about those gates of theirs.
How many casters would they have, do you think?
One.
We did not see that many.
We never came through.
Any casters I managed to identify are of clerical nature, not arcane. Whichever much that says, giving them the ability to possibly heal.
More worried about summoning.
Clerics are able to do that. You probably will know.
They have plenty they can summon, quite an arm.
I don't yet know. We don't know what we're dealing with. We don't know exactly who leads them and what they know. They know a lot. I have a spell that could change the tides, but I don't have it today. If you really wish me to help, I can only do that tomorrow. And turns towards the king. He goes, I'm not eager to see what kind of force they can muster in the night. But people like yourselves, I wish not to push into battle while they are still bleeding. But we're hesitant to fight in the beginning already. Don't need to push them any further. Probably need you to spearhead some kind of attack. You'd rally the dwarves after you. The elves they manage, but the dwarves are unruly. Bran helps, but they seem to take a liking to you. We can bring catapults here today. We may set up a trebuchet or two. Nestrin can't help today, that's a blow. But what do you think? You would help today or tomorrow?
Well, I know that for even my magic that I don't use that often, but today I did a lot, so I kinda need more of that tomorrow.
Magic is the reason why we were able to surpass them and push them back.
Yeah, and we do not have a lot.
That's
At
all.
least I do not have a lot.
Especially Angie are really important in these kind of battles.
In that case,
Again, but like.
I'm familiar with the toll a day like today takes on those who wield magic. And I also know their importance.
I mean, I'm not completely empty yet, but
And if you are correct that we may not have seen the extent of their casters, perhaps they are not. They are still well rested and not as exhausted as yourselves. Therefore, perhaps we should wait till tomorrow. We know we outnumber them, at least for now, and with a continuous assault of catapult fire, perhaps we can keep them from regrouping properly and restocking their armies. I have confidence, with your aid, that if we assault tomorrow, we can make it so that orcs will think twice before returning here once again. And of course, in the future, we'll take greater care of such dangers lurking on our borders. Set up your camp. Rest. Plan. Tomorrow will be a new day and a new fight. Okay. George.
I will have one thing that I could suggest for tomorrow. I could bring in a powerful ally, but its cost might be high.
Anything you require, we have the rest of this day, and tomorrow morning, the ride to Illinois is not far. Any components, any items, anything you require, if you're going to be the face of this assault,
Yes, I want a fish.
I will aid in whichever way I can. Fish can be procured.
Thank you.
Any preference on fish, Zero?
A big one. Big as you get.
Turns to one of the lieutenants. You heard there. A big fish. Kind of like turns towards one of his guards then to relay the message, and then takes off.
A big
He was a little.
fish.
Like for a shock, there was like a moment of like, you're asking me to go get a fish, and then push it off to the other person.
It's not in the job description.
Yeah.
I want a big fish.
I could pay for this shit.
Hiking Amoret, he gets up, goes, I wish you good luck. I will make my rounds between my officers and their divisions, set up the perimeter proper, and we'll have to find some pieces of wreckage to fire at them. But I don't think that will be too much of an issue. They left a lot of watchtowers and siege towers behind that we can shoot at them.
Some ball bodies.
This all happened very much in the morning. The sun rose with the orcish army, meaning you have the rest of this day to start doing something. About an hour after, considering it's a few kilometers, a little over an hour, 2 hours after the first goats pulling the carts that have packed down trebuchets on them, and the first catapults pushed by dwarves and elves alike begin to be brought towards camp and start set up. There's like carts with just pieces of wood and stones that hadn't been fired yet being rolled in.
Virtual help with all of that.
Yeah, same.
Very well. All of you take. At this point, it's for your side. It's mainly unloading. You see more divisions of elves arriving that are properly bandaged. You see the ones that are at the perimeter are slowly being like in groups being pulled back to have some medical attention before then being set back in their perimeter.
A very important question.
Yes.
Would we consider my gun a magical weapon?
No, I don't think so.
Yes!
Why?
No reason.
If you want to cast a spell on this, then something.
It just says fire a piece of non-magical ammunition.
In what context? What
Conjure
spell is it?
barrage.
Conjure barrage. Can I see it? I think it should main work. Considering it's a spell, it's a resource you would have to expend one piece for. For non-magical weapon. Sure, why not? Yeah. I mean, I would say with the way your gun works, you can like create cones and stuff. Like Conjure Barrage wouldn't suddenly fucking quadruple that. But if you do a regular shot, Conjure Barrage would create more splashes of.
Yeah, because I
Acid.
don't have the cone set up.
No, but I'm
for
just
it.
saying like to manage expectations, that kind of stuff won't suddenly be doubled. Or if you're like if it has the splash effect where it hits somebody else, that suddenly won't get crazily doubled. But yeah, sure, it'll
Nice.
kind of like that.
That's what I like.
You have the day. Any components, if there's a request of any other items or anything you wish, there may be a possibility of getting some. Healing potions could be
my
We could
suggestion.
summon Thorben.
Well, I was
do
willing
that
to
too.
do that, but I was really thinking about the planar ally spell. I think that's a very appropriate moment now to take a look at that as a make suggestion.
What does the spell do?
Ask Moradin for an ally in battle. Whether that be some, I don't know exactly, I believe, whether it would be in combat with us or whether it would just aid the battle in as a whole.
It just comes
Right.
down and says like no, and then leaves.
I don't want this.
So, because that's a spell slot, so that would just work. But there's a cost to it. That's why I asked the
Yeah,
king.
it can help you
Yeah,
fight
it
back.
helps bolster the enemy.
But it would probably ask the king to like build a temple of Moradin or aid her in such a way.
That would be funny as hell.
I mean,
Has
it's,
to
no, it,
donate to it.
this thing, some creatures might exchange their service for something. Sizable donation of gold or magic items to an allied temple. Let's see, celestial.
It's just
But yeah, it has to take payment. It does take payment from you, but possibly however you
Build
talk
a
about
temple.
However, I
yeah, no.
I can
Planar
get the
ally
king to
would
do
be a
that.
spell that is useful for this. It only lasts for 10 minutes though.
Yeah, but you know,
I mean, this combat lasted a minute plus.
Yeah.
A couple of minutes.
But if you want to have healing potions, you can
No,
pay in a
it-
request for
it
that,
does.
or you can.
Yeah, a bit over a minute.
Yes, longer than
1 minute. It was 16 rounds, so
yes.
1 minute and 36 seconds.
Counting.
I don't think it's a 10-minute spell though.
I'm looking at it. 6th level, casting time. Oh, casting time 10 minutes. Duration is instantaneous because it just pops in
I
existence.
think
You're right. It's just there.
It's just there, and the cost sort of is what determines how long it stays. So, if it's there the entire battle, it might say do something.
A
pretty
task
expensive.
measured in hours requires 1,000 gold pieces per hour.
Mhm.
Right.
Strong ally, then I assume.
Pretty good ally.
Or it's
But
I
it's
can offer you a cop.
it would be a spell that is very much useful. Yeah?
or if it deems, I think if it deems the scenario also like in the favor of its god, it would probably be cheaper instead. Let's say that. Or it deems this battle important.
It would have to be fought in the
It's
name of
ultimately
Morgan,
determined by the DM.
Yes. It's a very DM dependent
Yes.
spell.
So I'll leave a lot of that up to you.
Yeah.
But that's what
So
I
you can
do
fuck
wanna
us
do.
over.
Yeah. It's a 6th level spell.
Even if you say this is a flavor that just rallies the around the battle and you change something around that, I don't care about that.
But aside from, I mean, that's a good idea. We'll get to that. I'm assuming tomorrow morning. If there's any spell components, any healing potions or mana potions, could be something you could request if you want to. You can also summon Thorbin, get what he has. He has a lot of like consumable items for battle. If you want to have any of that.
Yeah.
And if there's anything specific that you wish to do that doesn't have anything to do with, you know, your preparation for the following day, let me know as well.
I want to summon Thorben anyways.
Sure. The eventually tents are being set up, by the way, and there's like a small camp being created around the Orcish war camp, and there's not a full-on like perimeter, but there are scouts around in the woods that are making sure that you guys aren't being attacked from behind.
Yeah, that's probably important.
So you're relatively safe. And for the first day, or that day, the orcs that have survived, the 2,000 some orcs that now are in there, they don't open up any gates to try and rush out. They stay in there. No, they do stay visible. Every now and again, at least.
I mean, they're also being belted by catapults.
You want to summon Thorbin?
Yep.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. So you guys finish up setting your own little camp, at which point you have time to start doing different things. Eventually, a large salmon is delivered to you, Zero.
Yes.
But then Jara comes to you because you have the stick, I think, for Thorby.
I do. I have the stick in my little stick holster.
Could have the stick.
I just throw the stick.
It hits the ground. Doesn't do anything.
I think we need to break it, right?
Yeah.
I go look for the stick on the ground.
You find
There's
it.
so many sticks.
Why did you break with my
I mean,
incredibly strong throw?
it's specifically a stick that is hit by lightning, so it does look a little different. Make an investigation check.
Throw it exactly where lightning struck.
No.
It could be any of these things.
Somebody's quick cast call lightning.
It'd be funny if you just drop one and then
Five.
in the woods and then somebody stands and it's
5.
5.
Do a
It
stand.
takes you the better part of an hour.
Do a stand on top of it, like.
No, you eventually you find it, and it's like laid in the grass next to a couple of other sticks. This one looks distinctly different, not from any tree around here, and seems to have the burn mark through it.
Ah, this is it. Finally.
At that point, a lightning strike just right near you, just basically it catches your hands a bit, and it gives you like this like shock for a moment. As the lightning strike immediately hits, just this loud thunderous boom. There's a lot of the army that is suddenly jumps into shape, and there's a lot of eyes towards you
Sorry.
as the lightning dissipates, and right like within like a foot of you, you see with a massive backpack behind him, a slightly taller dwarf, as Thorbin is there across from you, going like,
Hello.
"Good afternoon." What's
I'm sorry, everyone. I
kind of like looks around at where you guys are. He goes, "What is happening here?
battles and war. Oh yeah.
What?
I don't know if you heard about the orc
I was in
invasion.
Nova. I'm assuming we're in Develia. I was a couple of days away from here.
Fighting a war. We need resources.
I have resources.
Thank you.
That would be great.
I'm a thunder of war.
I am a weapons merchant.
Didn't he say when he gave the stick to us, don't summon me in caves? Well, at war or
No,
something?
in the middle of a fight.
Oh,
So
in
if
the
you're
middle of
in
a
combat,
fight.
you use your action to try and summon him. He wouldn't immediately show up. He also generally doesn't immediately show up. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes. Not this time.
Yeah.
Orban is just a massive
Don't do
warlord.
it inside and don't do it while fighting. Because we're not busy fighting at the moment.
No,
We did
but-
it inside though.
It would be even funnier if like an hour later you see like a thunderstruck in the orc camp. It's like, hold on.
You don't know. You don't know what his intentions are.
Thorben, like, I'm making bank. Or cha-ching.
You
One
greasy.
second. I'm trying to find where Thorbin's shit is.
I've got it here.
Yeah, I have it here somewhere as well.
He just disguises an orc. An orc.
That would be funny as hell.
There we go. Alright, what do you wanna buy?
I mean, would he really have morals?
I mean,
Thorbin
yeah,
probably
right.
Money.
he's just a dude. Yes, he has morals.
I mean, he has morals, but like, would he care if he sold to an orc or a dwarf?
Does he have normal healing potions?
You want to know how much of a capitalist he is?
Because it doesn't say here.
Yeah, yes, regular
I mean,
healing
money
potions.
is
It also
money,
has
yeah.
relic.
He has healing
Yeah.
potions and mana potions.
Nice. And then the stuff he has in his backpack here.
Yeah.
Gee, thank you.
That's the one you gave me, right?
Yeah, it definitely is.
I would
Thank you
like.
very much.
Well,
But no.
the potion of lightning breath is probably pretty fun. I think.
Mm-hmm. But at this point, Novan and your like electricity thing on your weapons, I think, has faded.
Yeah, but we have more charges for that. I believe. Did we add like another charge?
I think it lasts for like an hour.
Oh, I thought.
I don't know how long it lasts.
Oh yeah, an hour. Never mind. It'll be fine.
Yeah, so it was active during the fight, but has since dissipated.
I have 4 more uses left.
Right. What does anybody want to buy? If you want to buy anything from Thorben, healing potions or anything like that.
Do you have mana potion?
Yes, he does.
The capital level?
5th. Just like, yeah. They cap at 5th level because 6th level is anything that's entering the territory of like very rare to legendary magic. Yeah, I mean 5th levels are already pretty fucking rare.
Can I have the
But 6th level's a little powerful to be able to get potions for.
Yeah. Because I want to see the prices. Because I don't want to be broke again.
Conjure Elemental, right? Would that be useful?
Like a CR1 elemental or what?
I don't know.
No, like you mean the elemental gem?
Yeah.
So it summons like a CR5, like a regular fire or earth elemental or whatever elemental gem you have.
I don't know how well you can control that shit though.
I'll check. Yeah, you can look at the elemental gems. It's just you cast the conjure elemental spell.
Yeah, basically. But you don't have to. It's not a spell scroll. You just shatter it.
Yes, but considering conjure elemental does have concentration.
Oh, right.
Actually, to break the gem, the elemental is summoned as if you had cast a spell at the yeah. It's basically a spell scroll for conjure elemental that anybody can use.
Yeah. Except for me.
Yeah. And as long as you keep concentration and the elemental is friendly to you and your companions for the duration, you roll initiative for it, which has its own turns. It obeys any verbal commands that you issue to it, no action required. If you don't, then it tries to defend itself, otherwise it takes no action. If concentration is broken, the elemental doesn't disappear. Instead, you lose control of the elemental. It becomes hostile towards you and your companions, and it might attack. An uncontrolled elemental can't be dismissed by you, and it disappears 1 hour after you summon it. Or if you kill it, of course.
Yeah, let's not do that, right?
Well, if anyone should concentrate on them, would be George.
Yeah. But he has enough to concentrate on.
Yes.
You have the best chances of not losing concentration.
But it would be the help of a...
But I have a lot of plenty of things.
It's constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he has mind sharpener.
Oh.
It would be the help of a 5th or CR5 or lower elemental.
But at what level would this concentration be considered?
5th.
Right, because it's...
I mean, I'll also take it.
What's the cost of this thing?
450 gold.
Oh. Well, Summon Celestial is cheaper because I already have the component.
True.
I don't think it's much different.
That costs a spell slot.
True.
It would otherwise be better you.
What is the cost of a 5th level spell slot? A mana potion.
I don't know.
Mana potion, yeah, the regular mana potions one that are in the little cards at the front. Let's see, mana potion 5th level, 750 gold.
Damn, the economy's in shambles.
Fuck are you talking about? You guys have hella money.
You can buy a spell.
Yeah, you guys are fucking loaded.
I don't. Not anymore.
You can buy a spell.
No, I'm pretty sure all of you are loaded as fuck.
For like half the price. Damn.
That's
value. Maybe we should buy it.
I kind of want a sharpening whetstone as well, but I don't know if I should go for a +3 one or a +2 one.
That's your choice.
Yeah. It does save me like 275 gold.
Andrew, fuck you talking about? You got like 4,000 gold if you add everything together.
I'll take
Yeah. But the rest is more.
Yes, that's true because you literally spent all of it.
Yes.
No, Novan doesn't have that much.
No, but no.
How close am I to 10,000?
If you transfer all your platinum, silver, and copper together, what I have here, you are currently at 7,851 gold and 74 cents.
one platinum is 10 gold, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Damn, I'm getting close.
Are you done with the lists or not? Because I kind of want to see the prices of the mana potions.
Oh yeah. I will take Speedster Souls and +2 Sharpening Whetstone. And I'll take a Potion of Lightning Breath.
You say that's a
It takes speedster souls, a plus how much?
2.
2. Stone and lightning breath, right?
Potion of lightning breath, yeah. So I pay for that with platinum, so that's 62 platinum if I remember. If I...
Close your fist.
The cost is
250 for the whetstone, 250 for the speedster souls, and 120 for the lightning breath.
that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 62 platinum, or 620 gold. So yeah, you're good.
I'll take those and then maybe buy some healing potions with all that energy.
Sure. Here, I'll send the healing potions and mana potions like costs. Your direction.
Speedster souls might be good for you too.
What are those?
Take 10 minutes to apply and you get 10 plus extra feet of movement.
Oh, it can be fat.
Finally, you're not like at 25 feet.
I'm already at 30 feet, thank you very much.
Well, then you're at 40 feet.
I thought he had mana potions.
He does.
Look.
There's just no, because it's like yes, he has like basically every shop that's in there has mana potions and healing potions. Like you don't
Where's
have to.
the cost of that though?
It's in the cards at the back.
It's both in the
Here?
little cards, yeah. And I sent an image in the group chat.
Oh.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break. You
Okay.
can take that with you, so you can
Yes.
figure out what you want to do. If there's anything else that you want that can be bought with Thorbin, think of that as well, and then we'll wrap that up at the start after this. So we're going to be going on a break.
Yes.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 692.
69.
Shut up.
69.
Of episode of Unravel. We are picking it up as the party has hopefully properly looked through all the stuff that they wanted to
We
get.
have not.
Actually,
you have
can I
too
look
high
at
of expectations
No.
of us.
You are not allowed.
Chira, is there anything you want to get besides the Speedster Souls plus 2 Whetstone and Lightning Breath?
I want to get the what's the second to last? The healing potion called again?
Mega Digger.
I should say that I sent a picture in
Second to
the group
last?
chat.
Superior
Oh, right.
healing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
They're also expensive, and I want to spend like 3,000
That's-
gold for anything.
500.
I wanted to buy 2 of those.
So 1,000 gold pieces for that?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Or wait. Let's just do one of those.
Then gonna spend
One?
Just see.
For 500?
Yeah.
Right, well, that is, let's see, so it's bringing 8d4.
I guess I kind of nerd.
Yes.
Oh god, an enemy. What?
I'm looking ass.
Anything else?
No, that was it.
There you go. Zira.
I've watched it.
No, I have the whetstone and the speedster souls, and I have the potion of lightning breath.
Yes, how do you pay for the superior healing potion? Also in platinum?
No, I would gold.
So 500 gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Zira.
I
Anything
got
you make?
nothing.
Okay, George. Anything?
No.
Angie?
A regular,
Everything
greater,
is
and
good.
superior. Mana potion.
Do you have gold to spend? Stacks
do.
to burn.
Regular?
A regular, greater, and superior.
Kind of feel bad.
The second, the third, and the fourth. Let's see.
One of each?
Yes.
Okay. So that's, let's see, the regular is 100 gold.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is 250
500.
and 500 for total 850 gold. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to pay for that.
payment plan.
Alone.
I believe I can pay it all in gold, right?
Can I get a loan of a small?
Yeah,
loan?
you
Can I get a small loan of $1 million?
But I also want a just a healing potion.
Regular healing potion?
Yeah. I want 2 of those.
Well, bloody freaking.
And I all want to pay it in gold.
How much is a regular healing potion? 50 gold, right?
50 gold pieces.
100. So that's 950 gold then.
Mm-hmm.
Pay that all in gold. Okay. Let's see. 1/4. 1 second. And. Where the fuck?
Print more.
Yeah. Second, third, and fourth.
Yes.
Those and 2 regular healing potions.
You should drink them all now.
And I believe then my total of gold
I
is
should drink.
1,641.
What else are you buying?
So that's the
Oh.
total of what I have now left.
How much?
1,641.
See, currently you have 2,291.
2,291? Or I have 2,005.
No, you bought something since then.
Okay. Then I forgot those.
So,
Or,
whatever. What's up?
does the mana potion for me taste like blue Gatorade?
If you wanted to, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Then I have
never know unless you drink one.
1,341 gold pieces left.
Can I get a level 1 mana potion?
That's cheap.
Yes, 1,341.
Yes.
That's true. I want a level 9 one.
Does anybody want to buy anything or request anything?
Nope.
Heroes Feast.
Not if you want to do planar ally.
Can we request that? Get a Heroes Feast?
6th level magic is considered the very rare to legendary type of magic, to the point that that's not something they have available.
Dumbass country.
I mean, they could get you the component, they can't get you somebody to cast it.
Just like
Maybe I request someone playing an ally that can cast it.
You better try some divine intervention for that one.
oh, yeah, try it.
I can attempt that.
Just try it in general. If that doesn't work, just
I mean,
play
yeah.
that.
As long as he doesn't answer, you can basically try it
But
every day.
you finish up your dealings with Thorbein, kind of like exchanging money. At which point he goes, "So, I didn't want to say it before, but you all look like shit. I'm assuming that this isn't. I'm
Don't
talking
look so
about
offended.
you, the cuts and the
health.
blood and the dents.
Barely got hit.
We got eaten. Almost.
That is,
Yikes.
that
I'm very proud of him.
His armor looks like shit, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well,
You went inside a mouth. You can't say your armor looks fine.
my armor is fine.
You are.
It's magical.
Well, thank you very
you
much,
are
Thorben.
looking
yeah,
hit.
Ludus. But this, so orcs are attacking, were attacking Eleanor.
Yeah.
Well, still, they're still like here.
It looks like you guys are attacking them now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We decided, you know what? Let's finish this.
That is, I heard.
They might have started this, but we're gonna finish it.
they're also
Yeah.
in the
Did they
south.
know?
After we met the first time, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
after I
sure, they
continued.
didn't just start this war by attacking us.
When I met you a long time ago, I was walking towards Illinois, and after you guys were walking towards Genova, I think. I heard
Oh,
something
the
about
tables
orcs
are-
after that. Normally,
Yeah,
I make my way all the way to Camp Moria, but that was ended that time.
Yeah, there is also something very.
These are the same orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah. To the very south in the. What's the country called again? You should know, Angie. It's
Genova?
was that Genova?
In the south.
It's the only country I know.
No.
South from here. South
is a country. Genova is the most
North?
southern country.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm so
We're in
confused.
the north of the continent right now.
Yeah, you
Wait.
are.
I don't have the map correct in my head, I think.
That's clear.
Maybe.
Don't worry, I'm gonna print it out pretty big and hang probably on that wall over
Oh,
there.
that would
Yes.
be.
Yeah, that would
fine.
be nice.
Well, you have a. You have a.
Yeah, but I'm gonna print a nice map.
Yeah, that's fair.
He goes, if that's the case and all of these men and women are going to be fighting tomorrow, I think I can sell some of my goods that direction, so
What size you want a map to be? I have a very good printer in my school.
I'll figure something out.
Well,
He
you-
goes,
you-
I'll
You can ask around.
I'm gonna
maybe.
make the rounds. He kind of like packs up his bag again, begins walking down towards the perimeter line.
Ask for Bren.
Some people already start like walking towards him. The moment you call that out, he goes, I know, and continues. You guys can
Oh,
spend
yeah,
your
no, that's
evening. Is there anything else you wish to do today?
Boil some water for my gauntlets.
Okay.
And for tea. Not necessarily the same water.
Oh,
You want gauntlet filth in your tea?
there's so much sweat in that.
I just don't even know why you're
No,
boiling
thank
your
you.
gauntlets.
But it makes them more activated. I can use them more often.
I'm eating my big ass fish.
But you're telling me if you have well done gauntlets, you can just.
I
I'm just.
need to boil them in water for an hour
It's,
to lubricate them, I think.
What?
What
Don't you need to lubricate them to lubricate them?
I give you one of my gauntlets. Like
it's to recharge the arcanum.
yeah.
Is there
Rather than
Wishy-washy.
lubricating them, it's a little different.
Lubricate the
nearest
gauntlets. Wishy-washy, smithy stuff. Here's the other gauntlet. You can figure it out.
I'm gonna go find a fire.
Oh, you go boil your
There's-
gauntlets.
I mean, you probably have one at your own camp.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
fish
like
on
using a
stick,
fire,
put it in
so
smoke. I'm gonna
Sure.
get smoked fish.
is it raw fish you got?
all
Yeah.
salmon, you know. Just like a full-on salmon.
She's probably gonna eat everything of it,
You
so.
carry this shit.
Yeah, aren't you like the same size?
I was just given this fish. I am now preparing this in many ways. I have some smoked salmon, I have some grilled salmon, I have some boiled salmon, I have some raw salmon.
And she has some salmon head.
Considering, by the
You
way,
can put it on your head.
in the evening, the remainder of the day, eventually the catapults have all been brought in, and right around like the early after or the late afternoon, you gotta think like 5-6 p.m. is when the catapults started firing everything they have, just lobbing it into the Orcish camp, breaking the walls in certain points, wrecking the tents. Later in the evening, they'll probably start running out of ammunition. They stay for a while. You also don't see any other like lightning happening, meaning either Thorbin walked away or he hasn't left yet.
What were you eating wolf tonight?
But he's seemingly sticking around for a bit.
I'm gonna cook some dinner
but-
then.
You can all eventually, under the sound of catapults releasing, find your way to bed.
Can I get some of that salmon? I can cook us all dinner.
I have eaten it all.
Every part of it?
Yes.
Yeah, Zero's like twice her size now.
She's stuffed.
You can see like a salmon shaving.
It's just like Zera, but like with a ball form.
I mean,
You can roll her
did you
around.
collect the bones though?
Of course I did.
Because I can make jewelry out of it.
Of course I did. I collect all the bones. Call me the bonesmith.
Do you want me to force?
Call me the boner.
Do you want some nice jewelry out of it? Sure.
Bone jewelry.
I think that's zero like.
I also have this
Fair.
fused two skulls.
Great.
I can make a nice belt.
I'm gonna make a candle holder out of it.
I mean,
That's
it's still
cool.
very difficult. It's just like a candle.
Who would
I'm gonna
decorate
make a
their
bone
house
chandelier.
or whatever with a
That's
skull?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
make.
I mean,
gonna
she ate someone's hand.
She asked to eat my arm.
No.
Yeah, I did. Didn't you eat the baby?
No! I
Shade
dissected
fingers.
the baby and afterwards I buried it because I'm a lady.
Well, sure.
She does
Princess
it the day
Zira.
out.
Also, I didn't know what species this was back then and I didn't know if it would be edible.
That was your concern.
So that's your main
Fair
concern.
That was your main concern
It's a
if
little
the baby was
disturbing, but
edible.
yeah.
Yes, I didn't know if the species were edible. Now I know they are.
Wait. How do you? Never mind.
Okay.
Right.
I had enough of this conversation. If you wanna, I'm not here. Bye.
You guys can take a long rest,
Yes.
so you can reset all the damage that was done to you yesterday.
Already did.
All your damage.
You said all the hit dice as well.
I do believe we lose.
No, half your hit dice. Rounded up.
Why can't we have like a very good, nice long rest?
No, this is a full long rest. Just like you're on a full long rest, you only get back half your hit dice.
Yeah. Well, not if you.
Wait, we get everything back, right?
Yes, this is not
No,
a
we
travel
lose
long
eight.
rest, but your hit dice.
Yeah, no, that's
You
half.
Yeah,
always,
that's true.
even in the best of you can only get half your hit dice back.
Yeah, that's true.
But you lose 8.
We do lose
You
8.
do lose 8, but you lost 8 a couple hours ago.
Do we get 8 back the next day?
That's going to be the question after this. So reset your stuff, and then you guys can precast or do anything you wish.
As far
How
as
long
I'm
do we
concerned 8 is still in my spell bone.
after the long?
In your bone?
After the long rest, you probably have like an hour or two.
Then I can recast it.
Damn, these are a lot of spells.
Yeah, that's what you get for being 12th level. You get a
Yeah,
12th level,
no,
right?
I used a lot of them. That's
Okay.
what I mean.
Oh,
I think so.
that's what you get for using all of them.
12, 20, and level are
I still have the spell bone
Who
stuff.
really knows?
They will level up though.
No, you leveled up right before you entered that fight, so no.
Are we going to level up?
At some point, hopefully.
When is the next level up?
When you guys reach a certain milestone.
Anyways,
So,
Anywho.
tell me, what do you guys want to do, if anything?
I'm gonna prepare a hot pot in the morning. And as well prepare the treats that I can give
Sure.
people.
So, tell everybody how many temporary hit points they're going to get.
Let's see, the treats.
You can also empty out your character end of session things, because they're going to have to be refilled again
Yeah.
at some point.
I don't know. I have one.
We should see both.
Good.
I think it's in there. Breathe in.
So,
I
from
will
the
get
treats.
Uh-oh. Just the camera, it's like filming this.
Sorry.
It's okay.
From the treats, I give one to Zira, I give one to Angie, we'll give one to George, and one to Novan, I suppose.
Which means they get temporary... How many temporary points? 4 temporary points.
It's amazing, and
Wait, everybody except for you? Or...
Yeah.
Also 0?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody except you.
I can give it out 4 times, and then it's 4 points. And they get the, if they eat from my hot pot, they also get the stuff from there,
Yes.
which is, I think, 2d4. Yeah, I do. Which is 5, so you get... If you didn't have temporary hit points before, you get 5, the other ones get 9 in total for me.
So Angie, that also counts for you.
You get 9 temporary hit points from me. I'll then apply the speedster souls,
Yes.
because it stays
For an hour. No?
it stays for an hour, for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I'll apply the sharpening whetstone, because that also stays for 8 hours.
Yep.
Sorry.
So the sharpening whetstone, yeah, you can use them on... sharpening whetstone does work per weapon.
Okay.
So, but if you're doing a crossbow and a gauntlet, you can put it on the gauntlet. And then,
Yeah, okay. I thought you could use it on. Yeah, okay, no, that makes sense.
yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I forgot you dual wield it. But depends on you can. I mean, Thorben hasn't left yet, so you can buy more,
I'll buy one more.
or you can just choose to go crossbow gauntlet.
I guess.
Everyone will have 15 additional hit points for 8 with one casting phase.
15?
8. We did that last well.
I can just give you 5.
4th
So what?
level and
Oh.
everyone. That's 8 charges of my stab field.
Yeah, but you can only cast 4th level gives them 15 temporary points. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all your charges?
No.
And you also have the 5 you get for my spell bone.
20 temporary hit points from 8 in total, and 9 temporary hit points from Chara's stuff.
For everyone except for me.
Yes.
I just get 5.
So, Chara, do you want to buy more whetstones, or do you want to just do some roll?
I'll buy another one and use both weapons.
So that's another 250 gold.
I'll buy that with a PP.
Platinum.
Yeah,
So
platinum.
another 25 platinum. You can buy that from Thorben in the morning. He's still there. There's a line.
Can I ask how his business is going?
There's like a couple of bags of gold. there's like a small line to his like bag. Maybe like 10-20 people that are like.
That was a good idea to summon them.
There's a bunch of like healing potions that are going, mana
Hey,
potions.
we need a commission. eh?
We got you this job, man. Like if 1% for sales.
But
Can we get 1% for all sales?
so you buy the other whetstone. I'm assuming you're not using your crossbow then today.
No, I won't.
Okay, cool.
Just use me.
Is he paying taxes over this? Because clearly this is illegal.
It's
The
all
king must be on this.
It's a black market.
So,
It's all illegal money.
any other casting or anything like that? We did 2 times 8 and temporary hit points for a total of 29 extra hit points.
I mean, if I understand the plan correctly, we are going to attack them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, mage armor.
You cast mage armor, okay.
Mage arm.
Anything else?
Oh,
Anything that just goes right up to the point that you basically roll initiative.
yeah. I wanna also apply the thingy, majiggy.
The lightning stone.
Yeah,
Does Novan also do that?
I think so.
Cherry?
I guess.
Yeah, just
You don't ask me about characters I don't know.
Sorry. We'll say, considering the fact that she did it last time as well, we will say that she does do it.
it's probably a good idea. I need to use 2 uses though.
So make sure to write that down on her, either on her character sheet or end of character sheet, that she used her lightning whetstone, dragon skill
Dragon
whetstone,
skill. What stone?
dragon skill whetstone. Another charm.
George will.
Yes.
First, ask for it.
Okay.
To
Yo,
aid
bitch.
him and his party in this battle.
To 8.
Sure.
To cast AIDS.
Probably, Hero's Feast would be pretty good actually, so that's probably what I'm like.
Are you asking for Hero's Feast?
I mean, I'm not directly asking for Hero's Feast, but I'm asking to be fearless.
Sure.
Ah, yes. With a 93, I think my level 100 character. I will not be fearless.
Morden stays quiet upon your request, I'm afraid.
Morden hears his ringtone go off.
Let it go to voicemail.
I guess he needs me to cast a 6th level spell.
You know what? I can live with having that spell.
So
Morbius cruel.
then in the present, I suppose asking if the king wants to be there as well, because there would be some negotiation to
Right.
pricing.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Go.
also cast Planar Ally.
How do you approach this? The king, Garrick, he's at the round table. His tent is set up behind that. They are planning that morning's attack. You guys pre-cast and ate and did whatever you wish to do at your camp. You then make your way towards the table. How do you approach this situation?
Just like, well, I don't know how I'm let into the tent, whether they just let me in or whatever.
They're sitting outside at the large table that they set up the day before as well. So they see you approach.
He walks on and just... Remember when I, last night, had a request of resource, of which I cannot tell you the exact amount, but the negotiation would have to take place, and quickly, of course.
Right.
If you have time now, how you think this would be the best moment to do so?
Negotiations with what exactly?
Inform my Deithy, the champion of Moradin, whoever he sends. Believe any aid of summoning we can get would be good to do now. I'm sure they'll do the same.
I agree. This entity that you are summoning, since to you, is bound to you somehow?
Well, he listens to the requests of what I ask of him, but he also requires payment. Whatever the payment he seeks, I couldn't tell you, but I could tell him himself. And as you are, well, as I request, price for you to be paid, as it would also probably be in my favor if you would do that today. Probably ask something in the alignment of aiding the dwarves and Temple of Mord. Also set us in my aid.
Very well. Let's see this angelic being you will attempt to summon and see what its terms are.
I will say this is the first time I do this.
Good.
I figured now is the best time when, King and all his loyal servants are watching. No pressure.
Can I pet you?
Nestrin is sitting at the far end of the table, like very intently looking at what you're doing. Sante's kind of like standing behind him, like curious.
I can walk up to George and just like lean over. You can do this, George.
I never dealt with myself. And he starts
A
doing
couple
his
of priests of
ritual.
Corellon that are like, yeah, sure.
He puts down the anvil and he starts doing the ritual.
Okay. Let's see. Planar ally. Just look at the spell real quick.
There's a lot of text there. So
Yeah. You beseech. Yeah, beseech an otherworldly entity for aid. The being must be known to you, a god. Must be known to you, a god, primordial demon prince, or some other cosmic power. The entity sends a celestial, elemental, fiend, or a fiend that is loyal to it to aid you. It's loyal to so it's loyal to Mordin to aid you, making a creature appear in an unoccupied space within range. If you know a specific creature's name, you can speak that name when you cast the spell to request that creature. Though you might get a different creature anyways. GM's choice. Get fucked. When the creature appears, it is under no compulsion to behave in any particular way. You can ask the creature to perform a service exchanged for payment, but it isn't obliged to do so. The requested task could range from simple flies across the canyon to help us in battle, or simple to help us in battle, to complex, spy on our enemies, or protect us during our foray in the dungeon. You must be able to communicate with the creature to bargain for its services. Payments can take a variety of homes, so maybe sizable donation of gold to magic items or to allied temple. Well, a fiend might demand a living sacrifice or gifts of treasure. Some creatures might exchange services for their... Okay, cool. Sure. Is there any specific creature that you know of that you can summon? I don't know.
Ask for more than himself.
I don't believe I know any specific. I've not. Unless,
I don't know.
Unless you have.
I don't remember. I'm just saying, like, if you remember they have a creature.
No, like I remember
cool.
elementals that I had to fight, and I remember
Yeah,
like
those are
Gordon
not
himself
loyal to
speaking, but I don't think there was anything like.
Okay. In that case, I would like you to roll a d20 and add your wisdom modifier to it. This will determine. You can influence this skill check however you wish. This will determine.
Guidance.
This will determine how powerful the creature will be.
Would a guidance help?
Guidance and it's just a. I would say like, it would be a religion check using your wisdom. So if you're proficient in religion, you can add your proficiency.
Religion is like a.
It's normally intelligence, but I'll allow you to use your wisdom for this roll. But if you're proficient in religion, we'll give you your proficiency bonus. But if you want to use enhanced ability or guidance or anything else that can boost your rolls, you can do that on this roll.
Go, George.
Well, guidance, yes. I do think I'm definitely.
Hey, you
proficient in
can
religion.
give a little motivational quote.
So,
Oh God, yes.
I mean, if there's anything
Would
anyone
it
could
help?
give,
You're not a bard,
Oh.
if there's anything anyone
so
could
no.
give,
But it may inspire
Do
him.
it, George.
I'll just roll really well. That's
That's
12.
It's a 12.
13.
So
You already-
13.
You
You're
have
good
a
at
plus-
wisdom, right?
You have a +9.
Yeah. So that is a 22.
22.
So CR 22.
That's how it works.
I mean,
Destroy the enemy.
the fucking Imperium just. Actually, I think that's iron.
How much?
It's like 25.
What CR is more than himself?
It's not so.
Above.
He doesn't have a CR because he's too powerful for that. CR caps out at 30, so
He's like one of those elder gods
I think in like previous edition, he
from
would,
Call of
I
Cthulhu.
think if you would realistically make him or any god
His
like
aspect would be CR.
yeah, his aspect would be CR 30 indeed, but like the actual god would be unkillable. Can be only killed by the DM. So
I mean, if you convince everyone to not follow Moradin anymore, then eventually.
or you kill them all.
Oh yeah.
It's
Let's kill them.
definitely a way to kill a god.
There is ways
So
to
we're
kill
not
them.
gonna kill Morden, but we could kill any other
Gods that way.
I'm scared.
We're not killing gods.
We could.
I am not gonna kill a god. Probably someone out
It's
in the multiverse probably will.
Bill.
Bill. Yeah, sorry,
Gordon's
give-
accountant.
Give me a second. I had not real time to prepare for this. So
With like a hand calculator.
I'm thinking. I
With
think
the
I
arm
have an
calculator.
idea.
I'm
No,
Bill.
it will probably have an abacus.
Oh yeah, right. Fucking arm abacus. CR1 creature. CR0 creature.
Whistle chicken shows.
Some chicken that explodes immediately.
You can fly, sort of.
They can fly. Sort of.
For like 20 feet.
Then they fall down. Right?
Yeah.
They don't have flying speed, I believe.
Let's stay in the air until that one. Sorry, this is. I'm just looking.
You're looking through Moradin's
Can't hold
allies.
all these celestials.
I just
Luckily, not
imagine,
that many Celestials.
I just imagine George is like doing all this magic and portal starts to open up. Nothing comes out of it. Just like Moradin, you just hear a voice. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just give me a quick call. Hey, can you go help that guy?
It's like calling around, and be like, "Yo, you got time?"
You got time.
Fuck, no.
I know you're busy with your family, but
I know you're on vacation right now, but we really need you. We're understaffed here.
We're gonna have to do this one. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Cannot send anyone. It's like.
I mean, I did you a favor last time, so...
Look, you roll high, okay? I can't help.
Okay, I think I have an idea. That's still pretty fucking good. So, you cast this spell. Yeah. So, you cast this spell. An area is created where people have to like kind of move out of the way as part of that ritual. The clouds above, the few clouds that are above in the sky right now, kind of like begin to like turn and form this like almost cyclone in the sky that slowly begins to like glow brighter and brighter and brighter until eventually there's a beam that just slams down into the ground. That has a blinding light for a while, where most everybody kind of like looks back. There's wind just like flying past.
Your glasses.
When that eventually dims, what you see standing before you is a creature relatively akin to your summoned celestial in looks. A little smaller than that. No armor, large mace, and seemingly having these like wide angelic wings behind it. It's a dwarven stature and
Dwarven is it what I'm thinking?
the dwarven diva is pretty close to what you're gonna get.
That's awesome.
Kind of just lands in front of you. The hammer, the mace kind of like to the ground in a relatively casual stance. The wings unfurled after the light slowly dims before they then come back to it. And begins to speak, and it speaks. It doesn't move its mouth. Everybody begins to hear a voice, everybody in the area, in whatever your native tongue is. So for the dwarves, that would be Dwarvish. For you, that would be Draconic. For you, that would be Common.
That's what you get for being human.
Yeah, that's what you get.
But with a Genovan accent, I guess.
So he speaks French.
Merde.
Somehow?
he stops there. And he turns towards the one who summoned him, going. So, you requested some aid. I've been sent. Do you require?
Well, we require aid in a battle. People have been threatened by orc. Their land has been defiled. I ask you to vanquish them once and for all with us.
Kind of like looks around at the eyes of elves. You see like some elves kind of pulling back. The priests of Corellan, the elvish god, are kind of like like that for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just a dwarf angel.
Okay.
Just think of a dwarf, but he's like angelic.
But an angel.
With like angel wings.
Yeah. Kind of like looks around. He sees the perimeter of elves and dwarves. He sees the war camp. He goes, but you do not find yourself solely a company worshipping Morden.
They have.
In the place for wars.
I consider their gods and their deities allies of ours.
That they are, and they have been for a. And today they will continue to be. I will aid you in the vanquishing of these foes, as we've done for thousands of years. And when we do, we'll make sure that Morden's aid will be appreciated. His aid does not come cheap, however. Of that we will speak further soon. Dwarves seem to be low in number here. Though we understand and appreciate their aid towards the Elven King and his entourage goes. I believe further aid to his race and people will suffice. We will keep a close eye on what is done. The Church of Morden in Illinois is small in stature.
I know.
And if we are to stand shoulder to shoulder in this fight with worship of Corella, I think that the place of worship of that god should be equal to ours. Turning towards the King Garrick. You've seen the Temple of Corellon in Illinois. It's a massive fucking up building. That takes up like you have the town square, and on one side is like the castle, and you have like Nestrin's Tower, and you have like the like house like taverns and whatnot and shops, and then the other side is just the temple. So it's pretty massive. And the temple that you guys saw in the little dwarven district.
Like a big house.
It's a larger house that has been converted into a church. He turns towards the king and goes, "If we are here successful today, it is likely that more in need of help from Coppermund will make their way here. They should find a place of worship of equal grace in your city. They do it there. That is the cost of my help. Morden's help." He kind of like
George sort of waddles around and think of the stories. Angel aiding in a battle. Think of the morale it would have on your people and on the dwarves. Don't just see them as equal, but think of them as equal. They'll work for you as equal. They're good at it.
The dwarven work ethic is something to be admired, and their participation and their essential work in the defense of our city and our nation has been great and cannot be underestimated. And more dwarves will come, and Illinois will open its arms. Costs of repairing our city will be great. After repairs are finished, negotiations of dwarven rights within my country have been established to be proper. We will make sure that not only their rights, their homes, and their safety match those who have called Dorelia their home centuries. It will also allow the dwarves of Coppermunda to, in whatever way we can, second home. And with that comes, of course, the right to worship their god in a respectful manner that we would wish for our gods if the roles were to be reversed. A project with Bran will be set up and his builders eventually to construct a temple worthy of worship to Morden. That is my pledge. I make it here now, before the Big Five, my lieutenants, Bran, his men, and of course the eyes of Morden himself. I will owe this pledge to every dwarf that seeks sanctuary in my country. He like bows in a slight manner to the diva.
Hey.
Aye. The other, the priests aren't necessarily too hoorah about it, but every the
Come on,
Can't
man.
wonder
The,
why.
like generals and officers kind of like begin to nod along in understanding. Bran, who has been sitting at the stable, kind of like, "You goddamn red. You're right. We finally get what we deserve after all the work we've been putting in. And," again looking over at the king, "we will be speaking of our rights again, about everything that we've done and sacrificed to this place. And of course, if this is going to be happening again, you're going to be expecting dwarves to be there again, of course. And without a proper place to worship Muradin, more dwarves are not going to be arriving, and you're desperately in need of them." Although this is pretty wild, George. Again, like looking at the diva now and like a bit of like not fear, but kind of that like you know, God's right there. You kind of gotta like think about all your sins.
I never sin.
He goes,
Sure.
"That's a
I
neat
live
trick."
by no rules of no God.
He gets up and he goes, "I think that most of us are ready for a fucking fight at this point. At least my men are here to charge these walls. We've been peppering for the past couple of hours and, well, most of our walls are ready to break. You guys ready?"
We're ready.
Kick them in the balls.
Kick him in the balls.
Woo!
The people begin to disperse. The diva kind of like flies about like 4 feet off the ground, stays near you. Amaret kind of gets up, and this entourage of like generals and officers that don't have to spread out to lead their own battalions kind of like make their way to the eastern gate, which is the side you guys came from, and where the largest section of you guys' camp has now been built. That gate is all like crooked and shit. Nestrin and Xanthe also walk along, and Amaret turns towards Nestrin and goes, "Nestrin, that magic you spoke of yesterday, that would be able to help us in this. If you have anything like that you wish to display now, I suggest you do." Nestrin kind of like begins to step forward, and he seems... Those with higher insight see a level of uncomfortability in him, which is not something that you would regularly see in Nestrin, who's normally a very confident individual. He steps forward out of the line that makes up the vanguard of this attack. You see the gate of their camp like crooked and shit to the front. You see parts of the wall have been destroyed and haphazardly rebuilt. Nestor steps forward and turns around to individuals there and goes, "I do not wish to see any more elven or dwarven blood to be spilled unnecessarily. And thus I have decided to enact the highest end of the Arcane Spectrum day's attack.
Summon Raider Demon.
I will begin the assault on this camp, but I do not take my actions lightly. And though this display of magic may be scary to some, I promise it will never be used towards ill intent towards either dwarven or elven men." Turns around, and Xanthe kind of like stands behind him and holds a hand on his shoulder. And he begins to cast a spell. And during his speech, he has shot over a few glances in your direction, by the way. He turns around towards this camp. He begins to cast this spell, and he begins to create these like arcane circles that begin to like kind of swirl within his hands, that then begin to like kind of like vibrate and begin to divide, until eventually he has this large disc with these 3 smaller discs kind of like going around. He begins to like swirl it before he eventually like carries it, continues to turn it, and they go this almost golden light begins to like become wider and wider, almost to grow to the size that it is like encompassing most of the sky, and the size of this small town of a camp. This light
Please,
moving around. The clouds begin to pull together and darken, creating almost this like rain-like effect, and this like large darkness comes over the entire camp until from the clouds part in 3 places, and these massive burning rocks, meteors the size of basically a couple of times the Udak that you guys found, that kind of size, they begin to fly down, flaming balls just crashing down into the camp, destroying easily the gate way in the back, the western gate, as well as the eastern gate, and one that slams in a single instant in the center of the camp, creating quite of an earthquake. You see a couple of people fall over, you see the palisade fall apart in certain areas, you see massive fires break out in different places. You see the rocks begin to shatter and they begin to like splinter off in different directions. People in the vanguard line have to like begin to dodge and hold up shields as small pebbles and rocks begin to fall back as these rocks are crushed upon impact. At which point, most everyone begins just like this loud roar of dwarven and elven cries as people begin to rush forward. You see people with like ladders to try and climb the palisade, and others will try to rush through the gaps. As that begins,
I would be like, as this was happening, I would be like, in the balls, and just start running.
From that side, it's like in the balls. It begins to
start running into the camp.
Right after that's cast, you see Nestrin and Zante begin to take off into the sky. You see the king and his generals mount themselves on horses. The diva begins to fly, but stays with you as you begin to charge directly towards the eastern gate. The response after a little bit is that just a bunch, like I wouldn't say hundreds, but like dozens of these large vultures, these rocks, begin to fly outward and start hurling pieces of rock towards the attacking vanguards. You see rocks crashing into the ground as these dwarves and elves begin to advance. The elves begin to rain arrows into the camp, and arrows being fired right out back towards them. You hear screaming. There's fires in the camp. It's a pretty horrific scene. It's
pretty
for
metal.
all things together.
But it's orcs.
Like
It's pretty damn metal.
Nestrin probably killed a fuck ton of them just now. You guys begin to charge in. The front gate's completely decimated. There's like rubble of just broken rock of meteor they have to climb over to really properly get in. The moment you guys begin to climb the rock, you're basically some of the first ones. There's some orcs that come up. They get swamped by the people that are like beside you. There is very obviously in the center a larger command structure that has mostly been it would be a southwestern side of that whole building has been completely crushed, together with about like 12 different tents that have probably been decimated. There's an open path between you and the place you need to go.
I sure hope they didn't have any captives.
Plenty more. So, the diva's with you. I'll give you its exact stats for next session. Because I don't think we want to go that much over time.
No.
The first thing you would run into, aside from the lowly basic orcs that you relatively easily make your way through, and also the vanguard that's helping you push forward is taking that first wave of orcs to clear up the path for you to head towards the command center.
Can you use one of the orcs to slide down the hill?
Sure, yeah. Easily. One of them, you just like jump on its chest and he falls backwards and you go do as you go down. There's a small trench and a palisade that around that center structure. That's where you're headed. And you do see that there is quite a few orcs and stuff that are ready there to defend that first entrance before you get to the actual meat of this place. One thing you would notice after going in is that those dark clouds stay and it begins to rain during this fight. You also begin to hear the crackling of thunder and lightning up there, as every now and again there's a bolt that shuts down in different places, and among the vanguard charging in from the northern side of this attack, which would be on your right when you're running in, you see a bolt of lightning just jump over and over the palisade and then back over to the side and deeper in and then back. You see something jumping around. That's where we'll end the session. We'll pick it up again next week as you guys, with an ally, prepared with all your spells and whatnot, head into this fight. I would like for you to write down your things on your end of character sheet, but that will be it for today. So with that, thank you guys for coming out to play, thank you guys for coming out to watch, and we'll be back again next week with the conclusion, hopefully, to this whole shabacle. Goodbye.
Shyamalan.
Goodbye.
Shyamalan.